Hi guys, today we're going to talk about constraints in class, and we're going to talk about how we take pieces that we've created and constrain them together. Constraining meaning how we're going to put them together and make sure that they stay together and that they are aligned the way that we want them. When we constrain, it's always important to remember that we want to constrain to both the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. So we want things constrained left to right, we want things constrained up and down, and we want things constrained to their depths. And there's three terms that we're going to talk about when we talk about constraints. The first term that we're going to talk about is mating. A mate constraint is when you would take two objects that you have and you put them together. Okay, and we're going to go through this in Autodesk Inventor in the next video, or maybe later in this one. But anyway, you take two pieces and you put them together. All right, now sometimes what happens in Autodesk Inventor is it would be ideal if they're the same size or they have pieces that are supposed to go together, that they would just go together and line up correctly. But that's not always the case. Sometimes when you mate things, they may end up like this. Oops. So they're not quite lined up. Or they might be something like this. And so again, not the way you want them together, especially if you wanted them together like this. If you want everything lined up when you are putting them together and you're mating them, what you want to do then is you're going to apply another constraint, which is called flush. Okay, flush means that you're going to want the ends of pieces flush with each other. You want them right next to each other and adjacent. Okay, so like I said, the first constraint that you would apply if when you're putting pieces together would be a mate. And things might happen where they just go a different direction, okay, or they're just not lined up correctly. So then what you would apply would be a flush, meaning, okay, let's say I want to get these two ends so that they are both level with each other. And so I would apply a flush constraint to those. Same thing with these two pieces that aren't quite lined up. If I wanted them right next to each other like this, then I would also apply a flush constraint. Okay, so those are two constraints that we're going to talk about today. And actually, sorry, I'm going to add a third one in there, and that is the insert, because we have some pieces that we'll be able to insert into another piece, which will help us constrain them as well. Okay, so those are just the three types of constraints. We've got mate, we've got flush, and we've got insert. All right, so let's look at what you're going to do when you open up your project here. So I'm going to hide myself now, I think. Okay, I wasn't quite able to hide myself, but anyway, it's there. What I want to show you now is what you're going to do to create your first assembly. Okay, so you are going to obviously go to something new, but this time instead of creating a standard IPT, what you're going to go to is you're going to go to a standard IAM, not the mold, not the metal. So you're going to open up a standard IAM. You probably won't get this warning. That's just me. All right, so it looks a little similar to your part, but this time you'll notice that there isn't a drawing feature over here. What we want to do is we're going to go up to select place, because what we want to do is pull in the parts that we've created. So you're going to select place, and now what happens is it opens up your files. Okay, what is it that you want to place? So you need to find wherever it is that you saved your document, and I don't remember where I saved mine. No, that's not it. Find wherever you saved your part. I actually might, nope, I didn't save it in there either. Let's see if I can look it up. I'm pretty sure I named it. I named it practice stage something, but maybe not. So I will wonder if it didn't save correctly, because I did get an error message. So let's see what this is. Go home first. Well, basically what happens is it pulls your part in. I don't know which part this is. I hope it's the right one. But so you've got the part here, and what you're going to do is you're going to just left click, and it's going to put that part in place. All right, so that's the part that I had there, which is fine. We'll work with this one, and you should be able to figure out how to do your other one. Your practice stage 3 is what you're going to try putting together. All right, so here is my practice part 1, and you'll notice when I move my mouse around there's another part. Well, you're right, I want to put 2 of these together, so I'm going to left click again so that I've got 2 of these pieces. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and just hit the X button. So now I've got these 2. Oh, why isn't it getting rid of that? I'll just say okay. So now I've got my 2 pieces here, and I can free move these around so that they're not with each other. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to flip one of these pieces so that the square on the top of one of them will fit where the hole is on the other one, and they'll kind of fit together like a puzzle piece. So you will notice that if you go up here into your toolbar, you have a tool that's called constraint. And when you open that up, you've got all these different constraints. Okay, we just talked about the mate, the flush, and the insert. So this one here is your mate. This one here is if you want to put it at an angle. Tangent means you want them just next to each other. That would be like if you wanted a circle next to a straight edge. Here you've got your insert, and then here we've got symmetry. Okay, so this here is mate. This here is flush. So do you want to mate it so that they're just next to each other, or do you want to mate flush them? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get them to just get the pieces together the way I said I wanted to. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to mate these. So this piece here, you can see the arrow that's shooting up out of it because that's the direction I want it to go. I want that piece to mate with this piece down here. Do you see that white arrow that's popping up there? So I'm going to left click on that, and you'll hear like a clicking sound. All right, so I'm going to say, yep, that's fine. I'm going to apply that. And so now, let's go home once and see if, nope. All right. So then what I need to do is obviously I need to get these to turn a little bit because they're not quite lined up the way I want them. So, and darn it, I forgot my mouse again at home, so I'm trying to do this without a mouse. So we'll go back to constrain. And now what I want to do is I'm going to try to flush these. So I'm going to want to flush this, and I think this end needs to turn in a 90-degree fashion here. Actually, I'm going to get this end and this end. There we go. I think I may have just constrained it one way. I'm going to apply that. And I think if I rotate this, I'm just going to try to constrain it one other way. It looks like there's a little piece sticking out here, so I think I might want to see if I can flush it that way too. So what I'm going to do, we'll do another constrain and a flush, and I want to make sure that my arrows are pointing. This one here and this one here point in the same direction. And now you notice that I think they line up a little bit better, and it looks like it's all pretty much one piece there. Okay, so I have just constrained those 2 pieces together. What I'm going to ask that you do is try to constrain your 3 pieces side by side first. Try to get the one square piece into the square hole, and then so that would actually be an insert. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to let you guys try that one on your own.